He discovered an old, abandoned camera in his attic, and the developed film revealed glimpses into a forgotten piece of local history. Arthur had been clearing out his late grandfather's dusty attic, a task he'd postponed for months, when his hand brushed against a heavy, leather-bound box tucked behind a stack of yellowed newspapers. Inside, nestled on velvet, was an antique camera, its lens gleaming even through the accumulated grime. He felt a strange pull, a flicker of curiosity that momentarily eclipsed the crushing weight of his financial worries. The bank was threatening foreclosure on the house his grandfather had built, the only inheritance Arthur truly cared about. He knew he should be sorting items for an estate sale, not indulging in old relics. But the camera held an undeveloped roll of film. A faint hope sparked that these photos might be personal family memories, perhaps offering a clue to a hidden asset, or at least a story to sell. He took the film to an old photo lab downtown, the kind that still developed film by hand. The anticipation gnawed at him. Every dollar spent felt like a gamble against the ticking clock of his eviction. When the prints came back, they were not the snapshots of family vacations he'd imagined. Instead, a series of grainy, black and white images depicted a dilapidated building with children playing in a stark, uninviting yard. The sign above the entrance, barely legible, read Willow Creek Orphanage. Arthur frowned. He'd never heard of an orphanage in their small town, certainly not one that looked so grim. The images unsettled him, a faint unease settling in his gut, but his primary concern remained the house. He weighed the old camera in his hand, a fleeting thought of its potential resale value, pushing the unsettling images to the back of his mind. Arthur tried to shake off the eerie feeling from the orphanage photos. He needed money, not ghosts. He posted the camera and a few of the more picturesque, as he optimistically labeled them, orphanage photos online, hoping to catch the eye of a collector of local memorabilia. Days turned into a week then, too. The house felt colder, emptier. The bank's letters grew more aggressive, their tone tightening around his throat. He started receiving strange, anonymous messages online, cryptic warnings to leave the past buried. He dismissed them as internet trolls, but a knot of anxiety began to form in his stomach. The lack of interest in the camera, combined with these unsettling messages, only deepened his frustration. He felt trapped, his options shrinking with each passing day. He started taking longer routes home, avoiding familiar streets, convinced he was being watched. His sleep became restless, haunted by vague, disturbing images of children's faces from the photographs. The house, once a sanctuary, now felt like a cage. He became irritable, snapping at the few friends who still checked in on him. He felt increasingly isolated, the weight of his inherited problems compounded by the unsettling mystery the camera had unearthed. The online warnings intensified, becoming more direct, mentioning his grandfather by name. Fear, cold and sharp, began to truly grip him. He realized this was not just about an old house or forgotten photos. He had stumbled into something far more dangerous. Just as Arthur reached his lowest point, a knock came. An elderly woman, frail but with piercingly clear eyes, stood on his porch. She held a printed copy of one of his online orphanage photos. "My name is Evelyn," she said, her voice raspy. "I saw your picture. That's Willow Creek. My sister was there." Her words felt like a punch to the gut. Evelyn explained that her younger sister had disappeared from the orphanage decades ago, along with several other children. The official story was an epidemic, but Evelyn never believed it. She spoke of rumors, hushed whispers of influential town figures who regularly visited the orphanage, and children who simply vanished. Suddenly, the anonymous online warnings took on a terrifying new meaning. Arthur felt a surge of responsibility, a powerful need to help Evelyn find the truth. He called off the estate sale, a decision that felt both insane and morally right. But his renewed purpose was short-lived. A few days later, a slick, impeccably dressed lawyer, Mr. Thorne, arrived at his door, offering a substantial sum for the camera and all related photos. For historical preservation, Thorne stated, his smile not reaching his eyes. Arthur refused, feeling an immediate distrust. Thorne's smile tightened. A man in your financial situation should know when to accept a generous offer. That night, Arthur's internet connection was cut, his phone service mysteriously interrupted. He realized Thorne's offer was not just about the photos. It was a desperate attempt to silence him. The true depth of the conspiracy settled over him, cold and suffocating. Trapped and isolated, Arthur sat in the dark, the faint glow of his old flip phone providing scant light. He felt a profound weariness, the fight seemingly draining out of him. He thought of his grandfather, a quiet man he'd never truly known, and wondered what he would have done. Then, a memory surfaced, his grandfather's old ham radio, a dusty relic in the corner of the attic. It was an antiquated piece of technology, but it operated independently of the town's infrastructure. With a surge of renewed determination, Arthur meticulously repaired it. He managed to make contact with an amateur radio operator in a neighboring state, a kind-hearted soul named Clara, who was shocked by his story. Clara helped him connect with a national investigative journalist. The journalist, intrigued, saw the depth of the story and deployed a team. The truth of Willow Creek Orphanage began to unravel. It was a dark tale of exploitation and trafficking, with prominent town figures deeply involved, including Mr. Thorne's own powerful family. The orphanage had been a front, and his grandfather, Arthur realized with a pang, had been trying to expose it, hence the camera and the deliberately hidden film. The town council, swayed by public outcry and undeniable evidence, initiated a full investigation. Mr. Thorne and his associates faced a storm of legal challenges, their carefully constructed reputations crumbling. Arthur watched the news reports, the faces of the children from the photographs finally receiving justice. He had not saved the house, but he had restored something far more valuable: truth and accountability. He eventually sold the property, but used a portion of the proceeds to establish a local historical preservation fund, ensuring Willow Creek's true story would never be forgotten. The heavy camera, no longer just a relic, became a symbol of how forgotten past can still shine a light on justice.